திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். புழியர்கோன் வெப்பொழித்த புகலியர்கோன் கழல் போற்றி. ஆழிமிசை கல்மிதப்பில் அணைந்த பிரான் அடி போற்றி. வாழித்திரு நாவலூர் வன்றொண்டர் பதம் போற்றி. ஊழிமலி திருவாத ஊரர் திருத்தாள் போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். So we had seen Sambandar's padhigam, first padhigam, and in that we had seen the first 4 songs in the last 2 sessions. So today we will continue from the 5th song. But before I start discussion of the 5th song, I just wanted to find out if any of you have any questions or comments on the first 4 songs that we have covered so far.
No comments.
Okay. Okay. If there's none, we'll continue with the 5th song. Okay. What I'm going to do is, if you have the file in front of you, we are going to start from the 5th song of the padhigam. I will say each word of the padhigam and a song, and then you hear it and repeat it. That way you get the hang of it. Okay. So Murthy, what I will do is that let's do it with you now. Then Ramakrishna can find the file and locate it later.
Okay.
Orumai,
Orumai,
peṇmai,
pemmāṉ,
uḍaiyaṉ,
saḍaiyaṉ,
saḍaiyaṉ, viḍai
ūrum,
ivaṉ eṉṉa,
eṉṉa,
arumaiyāga, urai seyya, amarndu, eṇணadu, uڵḻam, kavar-kaḷvaṉ, karumai, peṭra, kaḍal, koḻḻa, midandadu, kālam, ivaṉ, perumai, peṭra, piramā-puram, mēviya, pemmāṉ, ivaṉ. So as we go through these verses, you will find that some concepts, obviously this is describing Shiva and his attributes and his greatness, and Sthala-puranam and other Puranic stories and so on and so forth. So you will find that things will repeat again and again, some of these concepts in different words. That's the nature of prayers, right? Stutis are like that. So here you will find that the first phrase is that orumai, peṇmai, uḍaiyaṉ. Orumai, peṇmai, uḍaiyaṉ. Orumai means oneness. You know oru, right? In Tamil you have the oru. In Telugu you have okati or oka, whatever, right? So orumai means oneness. Pemmāṉ means femininity. Pen is woman. Pemmai is femininity. Uḍaiyaṉ means one who has. So orumai, pemmai, uḍaiyaṉ means one who has femininity in oneness. So basically it is talking of Ardhanarishwara. Yes, both maleness and femaleness in one form. That's what this phrase means. Orumai, pemmai, uḍaiyaṉ. Next phrase is saḍaiyaṉ. Saḍaiyaṉ means jatadari. Jata in Tamil is sadai. Saḍaiyaṉ means jatadari. An is the masculine ending. Shows that it is he who has jata. Viḍai, ūrum, ivaṉ. Viḍai we have seen before. Viḍai means vrishabam. Ūrdal we have again seen that one who rides on something. Viḍai ūrum means one who rides on the bull. Ivaṉ means this person. Right? So he is describing attributes of Shiva. He is one who has femininity in his one form. He is the one with the jata, the matted locks. He is the one who rides on a bull. And saying thus, eṉணa means saying thus. Arumaiyāga urai seyya. Arumai means something that is rare or something that is wonderful. So, typically, if you say, go to some wedding and say, they give you good food, and then after that, somebody asks, how was the food? It says, it was great. It was wonderful. So, arumaiyāga means that kind of an adjective. So, Shiva is of wonderful form, right? He has got these great attributes that is either you can say is difficult to describe, or you can say is wonderfully described as all these things. Arumaiyāga urai seyya. Urai means to say. Urai seydal means to speak. So Shiva is so wonderfully spoken about as having being an Ardhanarishwara, as being a Jatadhari, as being a Vrishabhavahana, all those attributes is wonderfully described as those things. And thus he, what did he do? Arumaiyāga urai seyya. We describe him in that in so many words. And what does he do? Amarndu eṇadu uḻḻam kavar-kaḷvaṉ. Amarndu means with liking or with wanting, with wishing, that kind of thing. So Shiva, on his own, he liked to come and steal my heart. That's what he's saying. Amarndu means with the desire. Eṇadu uḻḻam kavar-kaḻvaṉ. He stole my heart. He's the thief who liked to steal my heart. That's what the meaning of the first two lines. And the third line talks about the Sthala Puranam of Sirkazhi. Karumai peṭra kaḍal, koḻḻa midandadu kālam ivaṉ. Perumai peṭra. Perumai means fame. Perumai peṭra means that which has a lot of fame, that which is famous. So the piramā-puram, the Brahmapuram is very famous. Why is it famous? That is what the third line is talking about. This is talking about the fact that once upon a time, when the pralaya kālam, when the whole world is submerged in the sea waters, this place, this Sirkazhi, was the one place that floated above the water like a boat. So this place is the one that was the only place that was above the water, even at that time when the whole world was submerged in the deluge. So that Sthala Puranam is referring in the third line. Karumai peṭra kaḍal. Karumai means blackness or darkness. Kaḍal is sea. So Karumai peṭra kaḍal means the dark waters of the sea. The dark sea, koḻḻa. Koḻḻa means to submerge in this context. When the whole world was submerged in the dark waters of the sea, once upon a time, right? Or kālam means once upon a time. So if you take the or kālam in the front of this third line, or kālam karumai peṭra kaḍal koḻḻa means the whole world once upon a time was submerged in the dark waters of the sea. At that time, midandadu eṉṇa. That time, this place floated above the water. Midandadu means floated. Idu means this. So this place is said to have floated above the dark waters of the sea long time ago. So that fame is associated with this town of Brahmapuram. And in that Brahmapuram, mēviya pemmāṉ. In that Brahmapuram, this Lord dwells. Mēviya means he is dwelling here. Pemmāṉ is Perumai, Swami. ivaṉ, it is him indeed. This is him indeed. Not it is, this is him indeed. So in the fifth song, Sambandar says that Shiva is very wonderfully described as having femininity in his one form, and is having matted locks, and he rides on a bull, and he sought after my heart. He sought after me. He came and stole my heart. and he dwells in Brahmapuram. That once upon a time, when the whole world was submerged in the water, this place floated above that water. So it is that famous Brahmapuram where he dwells, and this is that Swami indeed. That is a basic summary of this fifth song. So I'm sure you will have questions and comments. We can discuss. Okay, again, as we go through that, you will find that there will be words that are in Telugu that are very similar to some of the Tamil words that you have seen.
So this here also the same point as one before, no? That is the first town in the world kind of thing for the Perumā-puram. So
Correct.
he expanded here.
Correct. So
Okay.
there are the Sthala Puranam, again, this because these are all songs, hymns with poetic verses with rhyming and all that thing. So the same concept may be expanded in different phrases, in different words, in different contexts in this song.
Right.
Yeah. I think Kadal, maybe in Kannada they call it Kadalu only. In Telugu, I don't know whether what we call sea.
Yeah, Kadali is also like Samudramu.
Yeah.
Like it also means ocean or sea in
Correct.
Telugu.
Yeah, so that is a Kadal. That's why I said that, if you know the Telugu quite well, you will find similarities of some other words that come from the same roots.
Yes.
Okay. So then we go to the sixth song. We will play the songs at the end today.
Yeah.
If we cover the whole padhigam today, we will play the songs in the end.
Yeah.
Marai. Okay, now Ramakrishna, do you have the file in
Yeah.
front of you?
Yeah. I have.
Yeah. Now this song I want you to repeat as I say the words.
Yeah.
Marai.
Marai.
Kalanda.
Kalanda.
Oli.
Uli.
Padalodu.
Padalodu.
Adalar agi.
Adalar agi.
Maru endi.
Maru endi.
Urai kalanda.
Urai kalanda.
Ina.
Ina.
Velvalai.
Velvalai.
Sora.
Sora.
En. Uḻḻam.
Uḻḻam.
kavar-kaḻvaṉ.
kavar-kaḻvaṉ.
Karai kalanda.
Karai kalanda.
Kadiyar.
Kadiyar.
Poļil.
Poļil.
Needu.
Needu.
Uyar.
Uyar.
Solai.
Solai.
Kadir sinda.
Kadir sinda.
Pirai kalanda.
Pirai kalanda.
Piramā-puram.
Piramapuram.
Mēviya.
Mēviya.
Pemmāṉ.
Pemmāṉ.
ivaṉ.
Andre.
Good. So again, we will go phrase by phrase in this song. What he is saying is that, again, he is giving different attributes of Shiva in the first line. And in the second line, he says that Shiva stole my heart. And in the third line, he is describing the beauty or the natural beauty of the Brahmapuram. And then he is finishing it with saying that Shiva of Brahmapuram is the one. It is this is him indeed. That's how he finishes this song. So the whole padhigam is the response. So we'll look at the first phrase. Marai kalanda oli padalodu. So it means Marai in Tamil is the word for Veda. So what we commonly refer to as Vedam, which is a Sanskritam word, equivalent Tamil word is Marai. Marai means something that is hide or hidden. So Marai is, the Vedams are called Marai because it is describing which is not easily visible to us. Something that is hidden. That's one way of looking at it. Other way of looking at it is that the meaning of Vedam is not explicit. You have to meditate upon it and understand it. So it is not obvious. So because of the various reasons of this kind, the Vedam is called Marai in Tamil. Marai kalanda oli padalodu. Oli means sound. Padal means song. So our tradition says that the Vedas were sung by Shiva. So you will find this described in other songs too in the Thevaram. So where did we get the Vedas from? Vedas were sung by Shiva, and Vedas sing about Shiva. So that's how we'll interpret that. Later on, we will find that there will be many places where Shiva will be described as the singer of the Vedas, and in other places he will be referred to as the object that is sung by the Vedas. So in this in this sixth song, Marai kalanda oli padalodu means Shiva is singing songs that contain the sounds of the Veda. Right? That's what it means. Marai kalanda oli padalodu. Adalar agi. Adalar means one who dances. Ata, right? Adadal is dancing. Adalar means with respect, he who dances. So Shiva not only sings the Vedas, but he is also dancing. So that's what it is describing. Shiva is the singer of the Vedas and he is the dancer. Marai kalanda oli padalodu. Along with singing the Vedas of various sounds, he is dancing. Adalaragi. He is a dancer. And Maru Endi. Maru is the parashu, the battle axe that Shiva holds in his hand. That is called the parashu in Sanskritam. In Tamil, it's called the Maru. So Maru Endi means he is holding a Maru. He is holding a battle axe. So it's describing Shiva as a person, as the Lord who sings the Vedas, who is the dancer, and who is holding the battle axe in his hand. And that is the Shiva. And what did he do? He stole my heart, right? Uḻḻam kavar-kaḷvaṉ. He stole my heart. And how did he steal my heart? Urai kalanda viḍai sora. We talked about this concept in an earlier song, right? In the second song, or the third song, right? The third song, if you look at it, paranda viḍai sora uḻḻam kavar-kaḻvaṉ. That's a phrase that we discussed in the third song. And similar phrase is used in the sixth song. Urai kalanda viḍai sora uḻḻam kavar-kaḻvaṉ. Urai is a word that has several meanings. In this context, urai means the wrist or the forearm, right? The forearm is called urai in this context. And urai kalanda viḍai sora. Viḍai, we talked about it. Viḍai we saw in the third song. Viḍai means the bangle. Viḍai means white bangle. Viḍai means many white bangles of same class or a group of white bangles. And what happened to them? Viḍai, where are they? Where are these bangles? These bangles are in my forearm. Urai kalanda viḍai. So the set of white bangles that are on my forearm, what happened to them? So they slipped off. And we discussed it last time. What does that mean? The slipping off. So if you remember from the last discussion, when a girl is in deep love, mind is occupied with that love only, and she doesn't eat properly, so she becomes reduced in weight. So because she becomes thinner, the bangles that were of proper size, now she has become reduced in size because of not eating properly and pining for her lover. So the arms become smaller, so the bangles become loose and they fall off. So that's a literary way of describing a deep love. So that's what he is describing here. Shiva, he caused the bangles that I was wearing in my forearm to slip off and he stole my heart. That's the second line. The third line is describing the natural beauty of the place. Karai kalanda. Karai means darkness. So Shiva, in other songs, we will see when you are describing is Neelakantam, Neelakantam will be described as Karai Kandam. So Karai means dark. And here what he is saying is Karai Kalanda Poļļam. Poļļam means gardens and groves and those kind of things, right? In a place that has a lot of natural beauty, you'll have flowering gardens, you will have fruit trees, you'll have a lot of wooded areas. So Karai Kalanda Poļļam means the groves that are dark. What does it mean? The groves are densely wooded, right? There are a lot of trees, so there is a lot of shade. So it is described as a dark grove. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is that the groves are very fertile and there are a lot of trees and flowering plants and all those things are there, and there's a lot of water, so they are all full of dark leaves, dark green leaves. So that's why the forest looks dark. So this Karai Kalanda Poļļam means the dark groves and dark wooded areas. And what else is the attribute of that grove? Kadi or Poļļam. Kadi means fragrance, the smell, the fragrance that comes from the flowers. So the groves have a lot of flowers which are spreading out wonderful scent. So that is what he is describing. He is putting two attributes of the groves. One is that they are dense and they are dark, and then the next adjective he is using is that they are putting out a lot of fragrance, smell, scent, because there are a lot of flowers on them. And that's one part. And then there is also Needu Uyar Solai. Poļļam and Solai are sort of interchangeable. So since he is using both, he is describing two types of things. So the one may be man-made one and the other may be naturally growing one. And how is this Solai? There is also groves, wooded areas. It is Needu Uyar Solai. There are wooded areas with a lot of tall trees. Uyar means which is very tall, growing very high. So Needu Uyar Solai means very tall trees. Forest, wooded areas with the very tall trees. In that, Kadir Sindhu up Pirai. Pirai means the crescent moon. So the moon's rays, when they fall on the ground, they fall on all these things and they cannot directly hit the ground because there are a lot of leaves and densely wooded areas. So the rays get dispersed. So that's what it means. Kadir Sindha means they are so dense that the rays don't hit directly, they get dispersed. Such a wooded area is surrounded by this, and in that Brahmapuram is the Lord who dwells in the Brahmapuram. So this is what he is describing. His first line is talking about Shiva's attributes. Second line is describing that Shiva caused my bangles to slip off because of my deep love for him, and he stole my heart. And in the third line, he says, this Brahmapuram is surrounded by dense wooded areas and flowering gardens and all that. And in that Brahmapuram, he dwells, and this is him indeed. That's how he ends the sixth song. I'm sure you will have some comments or questions on sixth song. We can discuss now. Any comments, questions?
No, nothing. Nothing from me.
Okay. Okay. If Ramakrishna, if you don't have any, we'll go to the seventh song. Okay. So in the seventh song, maybe Murthy, do you want to repeat the words?
Okay, I'll repeat.
Yeah. Sadai muyangu
Sadai muyangu
punalan
punalan
analan
analan
eri visi
eri visi
sadirveida
chadirveida
udai muyangum
udai muyangum muyangum
udai muyangum
udai muyangum
aravodu
aravodu
உழி தந்து
உளி தந்து
உழி தந்து
உளி தந்து
எனது
எனது
உள்ளம்
உள்ளம்
கவர்-kaḷvaṉ
kavar-kaḷvaṉ
கடல் முயங்கு
கடல் முயங்கு
கழி சூழ்
களி சூழ்
குளிர்
குளிர்
கானலம்
கானலம்
ஒன்னம்
பொன்னம்
சிறகு அன்னம்
இறகு அன்னம்
பெடை முயங்கு
பெடை முயங்கு
பிரமாபுரம்
பிரமாபுரம்
மேவிய
மேவிய
பெம்மான்
pemmāṉ
இவனன்றே.
ivaṉ.
So in this song, again, the same pattern will be repeating. So the first line is talking about, first 1.5 lines he is talking about Shiva's attributes. And in the second half of second line, he says that Shiva stole my heart. And in the third line, he is describing the natural beauty of Brahmapuram. And in the fourth line, he finishes saying that it is that Shiva who is in Brahmapuram, it is him indeed. So we'll go to the words so that we can follow the meaning better. Sadai, we already seen several times in this padhigam. Sadai means jata, the matted locks of Shiva. Muyangu. Muyangu is a word that comes in every line here. And muyangu means to be joined with, to be associated with, that kind of a meaning. So, Sadai muyangu punalan, that is one phrase. Punal means water. Okay, punal is water. Punalan means one who has got water. And the phrase Sadai muyangu punalan means one who has got water in his matted locks. Means Gangadharan. That is the gist of that phrase. Sadai muyangu punalan means he who has water in his matted locks. Analan. Anal means fire. Analan means one who has got fire. This is describing the fact that Shiva holds fire in one of his arms. So that's why he is described as one who is holding fire. And next phrase is Eri visi chadirvu eida. Eri visi means is dancing, so he is waving his fire, right, in the air, because he's waving his arm as he is dancing, and the fire in his arm is being waved all over. So visaradi means to fling, to sway. That's what visi means. Eri means fire. So in Tamil, there are several words for fire. T will be the most commonly known everywhere. Eri is another word. Niruppu is another word. Anal. There are several words. So in this song, because of the meter and for variety and a lot of other reasons, different words will come. So in this song, the Analan means he is holding the fire, and Eri Visi means he is waving his arm. Basically, he is waving the fire. Chadirvu Eida. Chadirvu means greatness. So he is dancing. Chadirvu also means dance, right? So that's what I'm saying. Aragu, the word in dictionary, Chadirvu means beauty or greatness is what they're giving us the meaning of this word, Chadirvu. So what it means is that he dances beautifully, wearing Ganga in his matted locks, holding fire in his hand, and is dancing beautifully. That's the first line. And the second line, Udai Muyangum Aravodu Uழிtandu. So Udai means dress. What we wear on our waist, right? That is Udai. And Shiva wears tiger's skin, that we know. So Udai, in this case, whatever he is wearing as his dress in his waist, which is tiger skin. On top of that dress, what he has got as a belt. Shiva wears a snake as his belt. That we, if you see in the Shiva pictures, you will see that he has got a snake on his waist. So that's what this phrase means. Udai Muyangam Aravu means he wears a snake on his dress. Aravu means snake. Udai means dress. Muyanga means it is joined with or associated with. So he wears a snake on his dress. And then what did he do? Uழிtandu. Uழிtandu means to wander about. And why is he wandering about? We have seen in the other songs. He wears a Brahma's skull in his hand and goes around begging for alms. So he is going around begging for alms, wearing a snake on his waist. And wandering about like that, he stole my heart. eṉணadu uḻḻam kavar-kaḷvaṉ. He is the thief who stole my heart. The third line, it is describing the natural beauty of this place. Kadal muyangu kazhi sool. So Sirkazhi is near the coast. So Kadal muyangu kazhi means the backwaters. Kadal muyangu kazhi means the backwaters that are connected with the sea. Sool means surrounding. So the backwaters connected with the sea are surrounding this Brahmapuram. And what else is there? Kulir kālam. Kulir means cool. Kānal means the groves or the natural shrubs and other trees that grow around the coastal area. So this place is surrounded by the backwaters with cool forests, cool wooded areas, cool shrubs around it near the sea. And what else is happening? In this backwaters, what do you see? You see swans. Ponnam Siragu Annam. Annam means swan. Hamsa in Sanskritam. Annam in Tamil. And these have Ponnam Siragu Annam. Ponnam means, Pon means gold normally, but it also means beautiful. So here there are swans with beautiful feathers. Siragu means feather. So there are swans with beautiful feathers. Ponnan Chiragu Annam. And what are they doing? They are pedai muyangu. Pedai means a female. So the swans are swimming around in the backwaters. And you have seen that when swans go around, they go with their female companion. So there are male swans and female swans. They are swimming around, roaming around in these backwaters. That's what it means. Ponnan chiragu annam pedai muyangu. They are going around with their female swans in that backwaters. And that is this Brahmapuram. And in that Brahmapuram is where Shiva is dwelling. And this person is that, this is that Shiva indeed. That's what Sambandar is telling his father. So father is asking, who gave you milk? So he is answering his father. And in every song, he will describe different attributes of Shiva and say that that Shiva dwells in Brahmapuram, and that Shiva is this person, this Shiva indeed. This is that Shiva indeed. So that's the overall meaning of the seventh song. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask.
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ramakrishna, any questions?
Yeah, fine. Sure.
Yeah. So again, what we will find is that in Sambandar's songs, remember, he is a 3-year-old child. He is just had drunk the milk of knowledge, and with the divine bliss, he is singing, and he will see everything in a wonderful way. So things that you and I will see on a daily basis, we may not see the beauty, but he will bring out the beauty in his songs. And there will be a lot of natural descriptions in Sambandar's songs. And again, we have to look at the implications. There are a lot of implied meanings, right? Mostly I'm talking of the general meaning, direct meaning. But as we discussed in the first song, there will be attributes of Shiva which describe certain qualities of God and why he is wearing it, right? So if he is wearing Ganga in his matted locks, we need to know why he is wearing it. And if you look at that way, you know that this is the story that comes in Mahabharata, where Bhagirath wants to bring Ganga from the heavens to take care of the sins of his forefathers. And then he is told that when Ganga comes, it will be so forceful that earth cannot withstand it. So then he prays to Shiva. So Shiva bestows his grace on Bhagirath and him, and then he tops Ganga in his matted locks. And then at the request of Bhagirath, he lets out a little bit to go to the earth. All that story we know. And it is talking about the fact that he is so merciful and he is so powerful. That kind of attributes are brought out in this. So there are icons of Shiva in symbolisms involved, and each symbol stands for certain aspects of God. And similarly, in the beauty, Sambandar is describing the natural beauty of the place. And also, when it describes the fact, this is like the whole thing is sustained by him. And then when he sees, when Annam and its female, he will probably see everything as Shiva and Parvati. Often he will bring it out. That Ardhanarishwara koļļam is brought out in many of the songs. Okay, with that, we will go to the 8th song. Yeah. Viyar, Ilangu, Varai, Undiya, Tholgalai, Veeram, Viளைvitta, Uyar, Ilangai, Arayan, Vali Setru, eṇadu, uڵḻam,
kavar-kaḷvaṉ.
very good. Tuyar Ilangum, Ulagil, Pala, Ūழிகள், தோன்றும் பொழுது எல்லாம், பெயர் இலங்கு,
பெயர் இலங்கு
piramā-puram.
பிரமாபுரம் மேவிய பெம்மான் இவன் அன்றே.
Excellent. So we'll go to the word meanings. In this 8th song, Sambandar is describing the episode of Ravana lifting Kailasa and then getting crushed under the Kailasa mountain by Shiva. And then he suffers for a long time and then prays and gets boons from Shiva and all that, right? So he's referring to that episode of Ravana getting crushed under Kailasam. That is referred in the 8th song. And Sambandar refers to this episode in every padhigam of his. So we have got about 375, 384 padhigams of Sambandar available to us today. He sang many thousands of padhigams, but many of them have been lost. We have this much remaining. And out of these padhigams, in almost every padhigam, there are a few handful of exceptions, except those handful of padhigams. In every other padhigam, in the 8th song of the padhigam, he will refer to Ravana getting crushed under Kailasam. And the reason is this: as we know the story of Ravana, Ravana had this Pushpaka Vimanam, and he was going all over the place on that vehicle, which is a flying vehicle. So when he is flying all over, once he was flying above Kailasam area, and in Kailasam area, the Pushpaka Vimanam could not fly, so it lands down. It lands on the, it gets down. It doesn't fly, it stops on the ground. So Ravana is asking his ministers, what's going on? What happened? Why is this stopped? Why did we land? Why are we not flying? And then they tell him that, this is the area of Kailasam, and because Shiva, this is Shiva's holy mountain, the Pushpaka Vimanam cannot fly over that, so that's why it has landed on the ground. So Ravana is very unhappy, he is very angry, and he is very arrogant, because Ravana has got a lot of boons of immense strength and infinite victory, blah, 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 right? He has got a lot of boons from his previous things. So he says that, this Kailasa mountain, this is nothing in front of me. I am so strong. How can this Kailasa mountain stop me when I am flying on my way? So I would rather lift this Kailasa mountain, throw it away, and then go on my merry way. So he decides to lift up Kailasam and throw it away. So, he has got 10 heads and 20 hands. So he, with all his hands, with all his might, he puts his hands under the Kailasa mountain and lifts it. So the Kailasa mountain starts shaking. And obviously, Uma Devi, Parvati, who is on the mountain with Shiva, she's never felt this Kailasa mountain shaking. So she hugs her Shiva, and Shiva smiles, and then with his big toe, one of his big toes, he puts it slightly on the ground. And then the Kailasa mountain gets planted on Ravana's hands. Ravana gets crushed under the mountain. And then he cannot remove his arms. They are all stuck under the mountain. And obviously you can imagine how much pain and suffering he had. And because of his boons, he cannot, he doesn't die, whatever. He's suffering. And many years goes by. After a long time, one of the sages come along and they look at Ravana suffering like this and they advise him, "Oh fool, why did you do this? You pray to Shiva. He is a very merciful person, and he will give you relief from this." After that, Ravana decides to worship Shiva, but how to worship? So he decides to sing praises of Shiva. And when you are singing, you need musical accompaniment, right? And he doesn't have anything else to play music. So what he does, he plucks one of his heads and plucks one of his arms and puts them together and makes a viḍai out of that, and then plays the music with that, and then sings Shiva's glory. He sings Shiva's glory for a long time. And finally, Shiva releases him from the crutches of the mountain and makes him whole again, removes all the things. He becomes normal again. And Shiva gives him some boons too. So he gives him a long life. He gives him a sword. There's a sword called Chandrahasam. He gives him that. And then he also gives him the name Ravana. So this episode is described by Sambandar in every padhigam to show that even if one were to commit most grievous sins, he can be redeemed if he repents and worships Shiva. So Ravana is shown as the embodiment of arrogance, and because of his arrogance, he did things that he should not have done, and because of that, as a result of that, he was suffering. And once he repented and prayed, he was made whole. So that's one aspect of that. And the other aspect is that even though he did the most sinful deed of destroying Kailasam, Shiva did not kill him. Shiva only made him suffer so that he can repent and recover. So if Shiva wanted, he could have pressed a foot and he would have been dead at the time. But he did not kill him. That shows his mercifulness. So this is to show how arrogance can get in way of causes our sufferings, and how repenting and praying gets rid of our sufferings. So that is the general concept of why Sambandar refers to this story in every one of his padhigams. So that is the background of the story. Now we will look at the words of the song. Veer means sweat. Tholgal means arms. So this is Veer ilangu varai undiya tholgalai veeram vilaivitta. So this is a complex way of putting words in this phrase. I will tell you the individual words and then I will tell you the whole meaning. That way, we don't have to worry about how to structure the words front. We had to move the words back and forth to get the full meaning. Veer means sweat. Ilangu means that which has. Varai means mountain. Undiya means to lift. Tholgalai means the arms. Veeram, we know it's a common word in all Indian languages. Veeram means bravery, valor. Vilaivitta. Vilaivitta means one who did. Veer means that which is very famous, that is which is very nice. Ilangai. Ilangai means Sri Lanka. Arayan means king. Vali means strength. Setru means destroying. So what he is saying is this first 1.5 lines is that the king of Sri Lanka, when he showing his valor, when he lifted the mountain, Shiva crushed all the arms of that king that were filled with sweat as he was lifting the mountain, and crushed his strength. That's what it means. So the first 1.5 lines means when Ravana, the king of Sri Lanka, was lifting the Kailasa mountain, thereby causing a lot of sweat in his arms, Shiva crushed his strength by, doesn't say here, but by pressing a little bit of his big toe. That's the meaning of the first 1.5 lines. And then eṉṇadu uḻḻam kavar-kaḷvaṉ. Then he is the one who stole my heart. Then third line is a very valid line that we are valid forever, right? Because he says, Tuyar ilangum ulagil, which means that ulagu means the world. Lokam is commonly used in other languages. Ulagu in Tamil, ulagu or ulagam. So this world, Tuyar ilangum ulagil, in this world full of miseries. Tuyar means misery. Suffering is what it means. So Tuyar ilangum ulagil means in this world filled with suffering. Pala ஊழிகள் தோன்றும் பொழுதெல்லாம், whenever a deluge occurs. Pala means many, ஊழிகள் means deluges. So ūri means deluge, pralayam. So we know that in our Indian tradition, the deluge comes periodically. It is not a one-time event. It comes cyclically again and again. So pala means many, ஊழிகள் means deluges, தோன்றும் பொழுதெல்லாம், whenever they occur, whenever they happen. So whenever one of these many deluges happen, right, whenever it happens, this place, Thonipuram or this Sirkazhi, is always above the water. That is a legend. So whenever the deluge occurs, this place remains. Peir ilangu. Peir means name or fame. So this place, right, when the deluge occurs, all the other places are wiped out. But the name of Brahmapuram remains. That means this place remains above the water. That Brahmapuram, piramā-puram, mēviya pemmāṉ, ivaṉ. This is the Lord who dwells in Brahmapuram, which is above the water whenever a deluge occurs in this world full of suffering. So that is the meaning of the last 2 lines. So in summary, highlight is when Ravana lifted Kailasam, he was crushed under that. That the Shiva who crushed Ravana under Kailasam, he is the one who stole my heart, and he is the one who dwells in the Brahmapuram town, temple. And this Brahmapuram is such a famous place that it always remains above water whenever a deluge comes in this world. And in this world, it is full of suffering. So what we can imply or infer is that even though this world and this worldly life has a lot of misery, by worshipping Shiva, we will be relieved from our miseries. He will bestow his grace on us and our miseries will be gone. That's the implicit meaning of that. So that is the 8th song. So if you have any questions or comments, we can talk.
I am okay.
Yeah, good. Ramakrishna?
Yeah, fine. Good.
So we have covered 8 songs. We still have 3 more, 9, 10, and 11. 3 more songs are left. So given that it's almost an hour since we started, so we can probably cover the other 3 songs the next time we meet. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah. And Any comments? Any discussion you want to have on anything?
Yeah, I just have basically one observation. Just while you're describing all this, I was thinking. You see, in each of the shlokam or in each of the pata,
Song, yeah.
Song, yeah, pada. So everywhere you see the two lines are dedicated for the piramā-puram. So maybe I think I think it's one of the way to address the audience, that is basically his own father and maybe the other people around, saying that look, he's not dreaming. Maybe perhaps that's why every time he's just taking the surroundings around the place, describing that and relating with what he's seeing. Perhaps that's what I felt. I don't know, this is just my feeling. What do you say?
What about you, Ramakrishna? What is your thinking?
Yeah, I'm just following along. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's one way of looking at it. But Sambandar, when we see other padhigams of Sambandar, we will see that Sambandar is so great that in every song he describes the natural beauty of the place that he's singing. He is describing the legends associated with the temple. So in many songs you will find that half the song will be describing Shiva and his attributes, and about 1/4 or 1/3 of the song is devoted to describing the natural beauty of the place or the other legends of the place. And in every song he will mention the place name in the song, because we'll see in his padhigam or in his life story that he will later on go from on pilgrimage tours. He will go from place to place to place to place, and in every place he will stay a few days, few weeks, and he will sing padhigams in the temple. He will be guiding the people of the local area. So that's how we have these padhigam songs. And as I said, he is, as a 3-year-old child, he was crying, and Shiva and Parvati came to him and fed him the milk of knowledge. So he doesn't have to go anywhere to see Shiva and Parvati. They come to him. But he goes all over so that he can do the mission that he has come here for. So he will go around place to place to place. He will sing padhigams in every place, preaching to the people of the local area, guiding them, advising them. And of course, later on, he will go and defeat the giants in Madurai. That will come later in his life. So he will do all that. So in every padhigam, in every song, pretty much, he will describe the natural beauty of that place. There are padhigams in which he does not do that. There are more of exceptions. Norm is that he will describe the natural beauty. So that's how I see it. It is not to tell his father that he is not dreaming, because his father, he knows how the 3-year-old child was, right? Before he went into take the bath in the temple tank. So this child is now singing complex poetry, right? So it's no, so he knows that he has seen the God. So there is no doubt about that. So he's not trying to prove that he is not dreaming. That is not what he's doing. But he's describing, that is his nature. He's describing the natural beauty and is giving us a picture of the whole thing. Verbal picture of the thing. Any other comments, thoughts?
Yeah, last, this is more about the deeper meaning of this. Last time you were saying that the 11th one tells you the benefit of having chanted this or listened to this, no?
Correct.
So if we just look at it from a very literary perspective, it talks about the features of Shiva, and then also, let's say, the Ganga on his forehead, And then he also talks about Ardhanarishwara aspect, and probably also today Ravana came into the picture. And then his mercy, when Ravana did this prayer, he was merciful to even release him. So he talks about Shiva's qualities, and then he also talks about the Sthala Puranam and says, okay, even during Pralaya, this place is staying above water. So if you look at a literary aspect of this, I was wondering how just by reading this, it may not be just once, it could be, I would say, several times. How does that lead to moksha? What is the inner meaning that inside this that leads you to moksha, which is the result of, or which is the benefit of reading this?
Yeah. So this is. Go ahead, Murthy. You have a comment?
Okay. See, I would say this way. Yes, it's very good. Ramakrishna said. But then Ramakrishna, don't you see that, in let's take any other stotram or Vishnu Sahasranamam or something like that. When they have this Falashruti, okay, if you take Vishnu Sahasranamam, there is nothing philosophic. It just mentions, it all describes the Vishnu or names of Vishnu. And at the end of the day, they say, okay, if you just chant the name of Vishnu, you will get this benefit. Okay. So similarly, I would say, like, look, like you take same way Bhagavad Gita. Okay, you say, okay, Bhagavad Gita, this chapter, if you read, you will get this benefit. That is a Falashruti for each Bhagavad Gita chapter. Okay, that Falashruti or Phalam that you get out of reading that particular thing may not be linked to the content. It is just saying that by just, listening to this or singing that with your fulsome mind and heart inside that, okay, that will lead you onto a path towards vimukti of karma. It's what I feel, perhaps.
Yeah. Okay. I want to add to that. That is, I want to add, basically what happens is, let's say Lalita Sahasram. When you are doing Lalita Sahasram chanting, it contains several bija aksharas, like Hrim, Im, Srim, and Klim, so on and so forth. These bija aksharas, when you are continuously saying, some of them may not mean anything, it doesn't. But a constant repetition of that, once you say it, let us say, it's also in the ether, it's also in your subconscious. You are continuously saying a small word. So because of doing that, you are drawing on that energy. So I was alluding to the fact that is there something embedded within this that causes such or leads to such effects? That was what I was alluding to.
Yeah.
Is there some deeper embedded stuff like that in this?
So there are in these padhigams, right? So he is describing Shiva's attributes, and he says at the end, right? Those who recite this or those who sing this with devotion will get this benefit. Obviously, that does not mean that you have to have faith in that, and you have to obviously with single-mindedness you have to recite or sing on a regular basis. And then if you look at that, these songs, they are at one level you are it's like Vishnu Sahasranamam or Lalita Sahasranamam. It's like each namam stands for an attribute, right? God does not have any name. Every name is an attribute of God. So the same thing here, the same attributes are described in different words in a poetic language. That's one part. Second part is that when you are singing this, it is like you are reciting this, you are focused on that you are thinking of Shiva's glory, you are thinking of his, you are praying, You are listening to the advice of Sambandar. What is teaching of Sambandar, right?
Yeah.
Sambandar is Upadesam. This is Upadesam to us, what he is telling us. And then the other important thing, which I may have mentioned in the beginning, or maybe I did not, if nothing else, right? Sambandar is, yes, Shiva and Parvati came. Sambandar is in a special category of that saint travel, right? So Sambandar says, you say this is my word. So we are going to Shiva with this recommendation letter from Sambandar. Right? I think I may have mentioned it, right? You want to go see somebody, a big shot, and you take a recommendation letter from somebody who is known to that big shot, so that when you go there, the big shot will take care of you, right? He say, oh, you are so and so from that village. Oh, I know him. Okay, come on, I'll take care of you. Like that, we are going with recommendation from Sambandar by singing this padhigam.
It's more like a rishi.
Correct. Because of his special status, he's like a child of Shiva.
Yeah.
So you are singing the song that child has given us, saying that you sing this, you will give you this benefit.
Yeah.
That is how we have to look at it.
Okay.
But any other thoughts?
I think it's good.
Okay. If there's nothing else, we will end at this point today, and then next week we'll continue with the remaining 3 songs of this padhigam, and then we'll hear the Oduvar singing that padhigam fully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good. Thank you, Shiva. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Bye then. Thank you.
Okay. Tiruchitrambalam.
Tiruchitrambalam.